Hey, good morning. Gonna do another quick Bob Parker show. Try not to go too long here. I'll try to keep it short. We'll see how it goes. I just want to report that it looks like to me that there's a massive poaching ring operating in Missouri, killing thousands and thousands of our deer, our antlered bucks, our pregnant does. They're using corn and other grain. They pile it up. They come in at night with thermals in blinds and shoot deer, wound deer. They run off, they're wounded, they run onto neighbors. They're killing thousands and thousands of our deer in Missouri. And they're using millions and millions of dollars are funding this, in my opinion, a criminal operation. And in my opinion, they're laundering money, dishing it out to their friends to shoot these deer. There's probably money coming from other organizations and groups. I would guess under the table. I have no proof of that yet. But it's a massive, massive organization. It's operating on our tax dollars. And they're literally destroying thousands and thousands of deer across the state. The name of this poaching ring is the Missouri Department of Conservation. They're doing this all over the state: North Missouri, Central Missouri, East, West, North, South Missouri. They've started their operations here in my county, Texas County. And it continues to go on. And I've asked Jason Isabel, who came to our county and spoke. I've talked to him at length on the phone. I've traded emails with him. I've asked specific questions about the funding, how much they're getting. I got no answers. I got no financial answers. He refused to answer any financials. How much the shooters were getting paid, what the fines were to people that were poaching and that were violating MDC regulations on feeding and stuff in other counties. It hasn't kicked into Texas County yet. It will. I believe it's in June or July this year. The total cost of the operation, didn't get any numbers. Now, we had a local radio station asked him in an interview, and that's public record. I believe he said $800,000. I may be a little off on my numbers here, but I'm close. And then it was discovered that they had over $2 million in federal grant money to manage CWD. And then it was discovered that they had over $7 million that they're getting to deal with their poaching operation and to fund their poaching operation. Now, they say their excuse for their poaching operation is they have to save the deer. To save the deer, they have to kill a bunch of deer in these areas where they take a test of a lymph node, which is basically a filter in the body, and they have some kind of test. I asked to see the testing to actually go to the University of Missouri. They have only certain state-approved testing sites. And they wouldn't let me do that. It went nowhere. Just like the financial information, they never released it. He said, well, I've turned it over to my financial people. This was in, I believe, January. I've got the emails. No answer. No specifics. They go around telling everybody it's 100% fatal disease. It's not 100% fatal disease. As a matter of fact, I've taken a pretty deep dive down the CWD scam, and I know a lot of hunters, and they are not seeing dead deer. I mean, they see dead deer from EHD. It's another disease. But by the way, MDC is not doing anything about that. But all across the country, these agencies have gotten this CWD scam money and have convinced USDA and APHIS to give them millions and millions of dollars to kill these deer. It was enlightening to me to see that Missouri Department of Conservation was meeting with the insurance companies in Missouri, that they attended their annual meeting or some big meeting they had that had Missouri Department of Conservation representation at these insurance meetings. Well, my question is, what does that have to do with common sense, scientific deer management? I mean, if we're managing the numbers to have reasonable numbers of deer, how does the insurance aspect affect that? My question is, are they getting paid under the table? Is this another way that these individuals are getting revenue under the table? I don't know. I don't know of anything, any connect the dots with funding. They've never reported any funding from the insurance companies. But as we've seen in USAID and a lot of these government agencies, taxpayer money is a slush fund. They pay it to nonprofits and other organizations, and then it's funneled back under the table. It's a huge slush fund. I strongly suspect that's what's going on. They're not transparent. They passed this quarter-cent sales tax where they, as prices go up, folks, they get increases in the money that they get. They're the last I checked, and it was several years ago, but it's going to be pretty close. Per capita, they are the most well-funded conservation department in the United States. At the time I did a report on it, they were number one over any other state. They made more money per person in Missouri to manage wildlife than any other state. And they would still be right on top, if not the top one. But I don't have the numbers on that. These people spend millions of dollars putting out publications looking like what they're doing is sound game management. It is not. All of our wildlife is suffering in Missouri because of the insane policies of the Missouri Department of Conservation. We're seeing fewer hunters. Our deer kill is down. We've got bears, we've got armadillos, we've got coyotes, we've got all these predators out there preying on these deer. And now we've got the biggest poaching ring that Missouri has ever seen operating in Missouri, funded by millions and millions of dollars of your money. Your money is funding this. Now, they recently had hearings in Jefferson City on this issue. And MDC testified that, oh no, they've got to do this. This is the biggest threat to deer that they've ever seen. Other states that don't even do this stuff anymore have seen the deer return. They still have CWD, a small percentage of them. Some areas more. It's like, to me, it's like Alzheimer's. It's the Alzheimer's of deer. And they have a prion hypothesis. They don't even know what they say. These prions last forever in the soil. I've seen no proof of that. They don't even have a picture of a prion. They can't even tell you what it looks like. I've seen pictures of folded proteins that they call prions. But what is the causative agent that is causing that condition in deer? They don't know what the causative agent is in Alzheimer's in people, but yet in deer, we come up with this theory, this hypothesis, in order to get millions and millions and millions. It's like $70 million federally is being wasted on this effort all across the country. It's outrageous. I hope that Doge and Elon Musk and, we've, in Missouri especially, put into the Missouri Department of Conservation, when they take comments, your legislators, tell them, we want this stopped. This is outrageous. And think about this. They're doing this operation all over the state. They're killing big trophy bucks all over the state because a lot of these bucks are nocturnal. They can only kill them at night many times unless it's in the rut. But they're slaughtering these deer. Where are these big deer going? I mean, is this another source of revenue? They're not throwing these big rack deer away, believe me. And I'm sure they've got a mountain of them somewhere that are being sold. Where are these? There's no video of what they're doing. They don't allow anybody to take video. They don't report what's being done with the antlers, so they can give them to a person under the table, get money. That person can sell it. In my opinion, it's a criminal organization that has to be stopped to save our wildlife in Missouri, to have sound scientific game management. Yes, do we have overpopulation in some areas? Yes, we do. Do we have areas where they're doing these shoots and where we have EHD that have too few deer, like areas in North Missouri where they have EHD and they're shooting all these deer? Yeah, there's areas that don't have enough deer. So these general seasons, they've added extra tags in these areas. They've got their government shooters in there. I support sound game management. I don't support what I consider to be the largest poaching operation in the state of Missouri and the worst game management that I have ever seen in all these areas. Quail, turkey, bears, deer, the whole gamut, black vultures, the whole thing is crazy. And I have hundreds of acres of private land that I'm 68 years old. I bought this property here in Texas County when I was 20 years old. I've been here a long time. I've run video cameras for years and years and years. The last couple of years, I have lots of bears on my property. I'm not getting fawn pictures. Our fawns are being devastated in the areas that have a lot of bears. Now, you can take a study somewhere that doesn't have a lot of bears. It's meaningless. What about areas like mine in Texas County that have a lot of bears? I have another friend of mine. He had like 8 bears on his cameras. He's the same situation. The fawns are being decimated. And they weren't before. We would have 80% of our does would have fawns. Certainly predators are taking some fawns. They're always taking some, but 80% roughly over the years, and many years, I've been doing this for 25 years, have fawns all over. Now the only real fawn numbers you have are the ones that are up close to your properties where the predators stay away. We'll get more fawns in those areas. But back in the woods, deep woods, where a lot of my properties are, they're being decimated, and that's where the bears are and the coyotes are. And people talk about, well, you need to take care of your coyote problem. I have hunters, most of them from out of state, that hunt on my property. They don't shoot coyotes. We had a lot of opportunities to shoot coyotes, but they don't shoot them because it's a $200 fur bearer license they've got to get to shoot that one coyote that comes through when they're hunting deer, which I think that should be changed. I don't think there should be any limit on coyotes because nobody hardly traps them anymore, anything. A few people do to control the numbers. I'm not a big trapper. I actually I'm a one-man show here for the most part. My wife's great help taking care of the house and yard and doing a zillion other things. But I take care of the stuff outside, and I'm busy all the time. And I'm real busy in the winter, and I run a cow herd too. I have a lot to do on top of some other things that I do. So to spend a lot of time running trap lines and stuff, I just never have done that. I probably should be, but it will take away from other things. I just wish a simple fix to me would let these out-of-state hunters shoot some of these coyotes, or have coyote hunters come in that the state makes $200 for every coyote that comes in. And I have a few come in to try to hunt these coyotes, to call them, and they use different calls. Some of them are very experienced coyote hunters. They have not killed a single coyote on my property. I hate to say that. But they've seen them run through. These coyotes are very smart. They're extremely nocturnal, except sometimes when I have a lot of hunters out, they'll see them, but they don't shoot them. I killed 3 last spring with my calling turkeys, and I usually kill a coyote or 2 calling turkeys. And any opportunity I get, I shoot a coyote. But that's what we're dealing with. Again, this is just about the outrageous conduct of the Missouri Department of Conservation and the misinformation that they give our legislators. Please show this to your legislators. My representative has done nothing on this issue that I'm aware of. You just as well forget so many of these representatives. They just are not doing anything about it. They need to. You need to talk to your representative and try to get them to do something. We've got to take back our Department of Conservation, back to sound science, sound management. Used to be nearly 50 years ago when I moved here, we had a great conservation department. I respect them. There's still agents out there I respect, and I need them. I need them to handle poachers and things that are, people that are trespassing on my property. And I've worked with them, and the ones I've worked with have been great. But they ride, you know, the people over them, and with these other policies that they don't have control over. Our local guys don't have, your local conservation agent has little to do with policy and seasons and all that. That's done by the bigwigs up in the fancy offices that, in my opinion, don't get out in the field. Hardly any. Something needs to stop. We need good game management in Missouri. I don't know how long I've gone. I've gone 15 minutes. I'm going to try to stop it there. Well, one last thing. If you want to have a meeting somewhere in Missouri, I'll be welcome to come and speak. We can get 2 or 3 speakers to come and talk about this. There's a guy in South Dakota, Dusty. He's very, very knowledgeable. There's other people very, very knowledgeable. Dr. Deere, a lot of people posting a lot of information about this crazy policy that these game agents are doing and all the money that they're doing. It's a scam. It's a waste of our money. It's a waste of our resources. It's a waste of our wildlife. These people have figured out how to funnel money into their pockets in the name of sound game management. And they've got a very convincing line of BS that they'll tell you. But guys, it's up to us to rise up and say we have had enough of this insanity. And they need to stop getting that 1/4 cent sales tax, or at least have some kind of accountability somewhere to stop this. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Get educated, get involved, share this with your friends, please. Get people informed about what's going on. Thank you very much. Have a great day.